Hey there, life editors! Welcome to another live stream call. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, today we are talking about the best business goals strategy that you're not using. Oh, yes. Almost everyone that I talk to is not using this business goal strategy. And it's really a shame because it can help you get ahead, stay motivated, and achieve new levels of success that you never thought possible. And I'm going to tell you all about it during today's call. Before we get started, just to let you know that this call is pre-recorded. So if you're wondering why I'm not responding to your lovely comments, if you're here live, it's because it's pre-recorded. However, if you are watching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know your thoughts, let me know your questions, and I will be coming back and responding to all of your comments later. All right, now that's out of the way, let's talk about what this brilliant business goals strategy is. It's the strategy of having accountability partners. Yeah. Before you tune out, I know some of you are like, oh, accountability partners. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about email marketing. I want to hear about how to make my sales page engaging. I want to hear about how to do free calls. I hear you, but accountability partners can help you with all of those things too. Here's the thing. I have been using accountability partners in my mastermind groups for years. I mean, I've been a coach for 12 years now, and I have seen the value of having accountability partners. It is crucial for my clients' success. That's why in my current mastermind group, Goodbye 9 to 5, I make sure to pair up everyone with accountability partners. We have an online community where they can talk, and there's different games and challenges and stuff. And then in my previous mastermind groups, like the Life Editor Academy, we had assigned accountability partners, and we would switch accountability partners every month just so everyone would get to know everyone else, and you would get different perspectives and viewpoints every month. It was really, really helpful for the ladies in the program. Now, I want you to take accountability partners seriously because I feel like accountability partners don't get any love. Like people are like, I know I could find an accountability buddy, but I don't really want to do that. Or they do it for a little while and then it kind of fizzles out. Or one person wants to be the accountability partner and they're kind of like forcing the other person to be the accountable to them. And it just doesn't work. Or they don't have the same type of goals, so they don't know how to support each other. Or there's just not a good give and take. We're going to fix all of that during today's live stream. Here's everything we're going to be talking about during today's call. All right, so first of all, we're going to go over what exactly an accountability partner is, and then who needs accountability partners. And there's a very specific group of people who could benefit from having accountability partners, and I bet you are in this group. Then I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you might be reluctant to have an accountability partner. And I'm going to speak to all of those reasons and help reassure you that it can be the right choice for you. Then I've got 9 good reasons why women entrepreneurs should be using accountability partners for added success. Then I've got 3 questions that you must ask your accountability partner during every accountability check-in. And then I'm going to give you some great places where you can find accountability partners. Because you might be thinking like, okay, well, I don't know anyone who has a business, or I don't know anyone who has my same goals. How am I supposed to find accountability partners? I got you covered. Okay, so that's everything we're going to go over during today's live stream. So I hope you stick around. This is really your comprehensive, ultimate guide to accountability partners. And I hope by the end of this call, I can convince you to set up your own accountability group, or maybe even to join my accountability group. So if you are interested in joining a business mastermind group with accountability partners, then click the link below and get all the details for my mastermind group, Goodbye 9 to 5. So all of the details are in the description. Just click the link and you'll go to the info page with lots more details for you. Okay, so let's kick this off. What is an accountability partner? Well, basically, it's a person, or it could be a group of people who meet in regular intervals. It's not something you do once and then never again. You meet in regular intervals, usually weekly, and you talk about your progress on your goals. That's what they're doing. They're keeping you accountable to your goals. And you can have accountability partners for literally any goal that you have. You'll definitely see accountability groups at the gym for any kind of like fitness goal, or maybe like a weight loss goal, like Weight Watchers. That's an accountability group. Or maybe you have some other kind of goal, like you're trying to finish a class or get some kind of certification, and people in that program are all supporting each other. And what we're talking about today specifically is business accountability partners, because you wouldn't be here watching this on YouTube or Facebook if you weren't interested in business. Like, that's literally what I do. I help my clients grow their businesses. So if we're talking about a business accountability partner, you might be offering advice. You might be trading strategies, talking about what works, what doesn't work, or you could simply be there to listen. Like, some of the best accountability calls I've had is where me or my partner can just kind of just get it all out, just brain dump all of the frustrations that are going on with your business. And just having somebody else be a sounding board or be a witness to what's going on in your life can help you find solutions, can help you calm down, just realizing there's somebody else out there who understands what I'm going through. And a lot of times, like, your accountability partners might have some advice that you haven't tried before, or a new strategy, or a book you could read, or a course you could take, or just a new outside perspective. One thing that I like about accountability partners is that they kind of get you out of your head. They are stepped back away from you so they can look at your situation objectively. They're not all caught up in in your old stories and your limiting beliefs and all that jumble in your head. They can step back and say, "Whoa, have you really thought about this? Or what about this? Or I think this is what's really going on here, but you just don't see it." So that's really what accountability partners can do. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this call, I do accountability partners with all of my mastermind groups, especially Goodbye 9 to 5, which is my business mastermind group. And you can click the link below for all the details. Okay, so that's an accountability partner. You meet regularly. They literally hold you accountable to your goals, whatever your goals are, and they give strategies, advice. You help each other out, you kind of lift each other up, and you just can also be there just to listen. All right, so leave a comment and let me know, do you have an accountability partner, and how's it going? Like, are you actually able to support each other? Does it feel one-sided, or are you actually having a really good give and take? Are you able to meet in regular intervals, or are there just long gaps before you talk again? Okay, so that's an accountability partner. Now, who needs an accountability partner? Well, I might say that everyone could benefit from accountability partners, but there is a very specific group of people who can really benefit from having accountability partners. And those types of people are called obligers. And this is a personality trait that I got from the book, The Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. There you go. You can also read about the four tendencies in her other book, Better Than Before. And I will link to a video somewhere around here. I'll link to it in the description, where I have a review of this book, The Four Tendencies. Now, I'm not going to go over all four tendencies. The one tendency or personality that I want to talk about is obligers. Obligers are the personality that can really, really benefit from having accountability partners. So the four tendencies has to deal with how you respond to expectations. So there are outer expectations from your spouse, from your kids, from your boss, from the world, from society. And there are inner expectations, what you want to do, how you are feeling, how you want to show up in the world. And every person responds to those expectations differently, inner expectations and outer expectations. Obligers respond to outer expectations, but they don't respond to inner expectations, or it's much harder for them to respond to inner expectations. What that means is obligers will do something when there is an outside force helping them do it. So if their boss tells them to do it, or their manager tells them to do it, their husband or wife or whoever tells them to do it, like somebody or society tells them to do that, they're more likely to do it. And that also applies to accountability partners. If your accountability partner says, like, "Oh yeah, you should definitely send that email," or, "Oh, I'll be looking for your blog post," or, "Yeah, update that video on your sales page," that's an outside accountability that these obligers need. They need those outside expectations. Because if an obliger tells themselves, "Well, I think I should update my sales page," they're less likely to do it because there's no one else telling them to do it. They don't find a lot of value in doing the things just because they want to. I know that sounds kind of sad. And like the quintessential obliger is the soccer mom who's always driving her kids all over the place and doing everything for her kids, everything for her family, but nothing for herself. So that is a tricky balance that you might be dealing with as an obliger. You're doing things for everyone else. Your parents want you to do this, your family wants you to do this, your boss wants you to do this, whatever it is. But are you doing things for yourself too? And that's kind of what an accountability partner can do for an obliger, can make sure that you're focused on your goals, but you have that outside expectation checking in with you, keeping you accountable and supporting you with those goals. So you get to choose your goals, but instead of like wondering, oh, will I be able to do that? Can I trust myself to do that? You don't have to worry about that. You've got your accountability partner in your corner, cheering you on, making sure that you stick to those things. So here's the thing about obligers and why it's so important that they have accountability partners. It is the biggest tendency. So in the book, there are 4 tendencies. And obligers are, I think, more than 50% of the population needs some kind of outside external accountability in order to reach their goals. So this is very, very common. Leave a comment and let me know if you feel like you're an obliger. Will you do stuff for everyone else, but not necessarily for yourself? And have you ever had an accountability partner, and what was that dynamic like? So obligers specifically need accountability partners. I would say almost all of my clients are obligers. That's literally why they hire a coach. They want somebody else to be accountable to. And I think besides just obligers, everyone could benefit from having an accountability partner, just having someone hold them accountable, being stronger together, and just knowing that you're not alone as you're working on your goals. All right. So that's what an accountability partner is and who specifically should have an accountability partner. Now, you've heard my side. Let's talk about some of the reasons why you might be reluctant to have an accountability partner. Or maybe it crossed your mind in the past and you're like, I'm not really going to do that. Or maybe you even had an option to sign up for an accountability group and you're like, I'm going to go on my own. Let's talk about maybe why that is and see if we can get you past some of those fears and frustrations you have about accountability partners, because there are so many benefits, which we'll get into in a moment. Okay, so 4 reasons why you might be reluctant to have an accountability partner. All right, number 1 is the fear of vulnerability. Oh, yes. When you have an accountability partner and you're talking every week and you're talking about your progress on your goals, there's going to be some times where you have to share something that maybe isn't so flattering or doesn't shine the best light on you. Like maybe you said you were going to clean your house and you didn't do that. Or maybe you said you were going to raise your prices and you didn't raise your prices. Or maybe said you were going to send out an email and then you didn't, and then it was too late and you missed the window or something like that. So you have to be vulnerable when you're talking to your accountability partners. You might be fearing judgment from them, which a good accountability partner doesn't come to you with judgment. They're just there to be your sounding board, just kind of be in your corner and listen to what happened. They're not supposed to be like, well, you should have done this, and I'm so mad at you. That's not a good accountability partner. So you might be feeling judgment, or you might worry that if you do join an accountability group, like let's say you join like a business mastermind group, that everyone will be comparing themselves to everyone else. And maybe somebody made like $10,000 with their launch and you only made $100 or something like that. And you might feel like you don't live up to their expectations, or that they're going to be judging you or thinking you don't know what you're doing. You might feel inadequate. It could lead to competition and kind of just leave a sour taste in your mouth. Like, why did I do that? So leave a comment and let me know if the fear of vulnerability is the reason why you haven't gotten an accountability partner. I will say that yes, like being vulnerable is part of having an accountability partnership. But I think that's one of the good things. That's really one of the good things, because where else can you be vulnerable? Like if you, let's say you go to your parents and you say, oh, I had a big launch for my business and it didn't go well and I didn't make as much money as I thought. Your parents might say, well, that's why you should get a real job. That's why you should go be an accountant or something like that, or whatever. And they're not going to be good accountability partners. They're the ones coming to you with judgment. But if you go to your business accountability partner and say, hey, I had a launch, it didn't go well, it didn't make as much money, they're there to love you and support you. So they'll say, oh, that happened to me too. I had a launch that didn't go well. Or tell me what you loved about your launch and tell me what you didn't love about your launch. And then you can strategize and make a path moving forward. Because what your accountability partner won't let you do is just wallow in defeat and be like, oh, woe is me. Everything is ruined forever. No, your accountability partner will listen to you, support you, hear you. And then when you're ready, then you can make a new plan going forward. And I'm going to give you the 3 questions you must ask during your check-ins to help you move forward, especially when you have a setback. So I would love to see you be vulnerable with your accountability partners. It might be scary at first, but once you start trusting each other and realizing that they're there to support you, it makes it a lot easier for you to be authentically yourself. All right. The second reason that you might be reluctant to hire or to work with an accountability partner is you want your independence or autonomy. I know a lot of us business owners are lone wolves, and we were like, I can do this all on my own. I'm a solopreneur for a reason. And I hear you. You might prefer to work independently, and that is totally your right. You might want to always make decisions on your own without like involving other people or asking for feedback. I do understand that. Sometimes there's the thing of having too many cooks, as they say, and that can like spoil whatever you're working on. By having like too many differing opinions, you won't know what direction to take. I totally understand that fear. You might value your freedom and be like, I don't want to be tied down to anything. I just want to work at my own pace, have my own goals, but not let anyone else know those goals. And you just want to be able to adapt and move without restrictions. This is sometimes why people who make New Year's resolutions don't get accountability partners, because they feel like, oh, well, if I'm struggling by the end of January, I want to be able to edit it and adapt and twist it around for me without having to justify that to someone else. Leave a comment and let me know if that's happened to you. Did you feel like you always have to like justify while you're making changes to your accountability group? I will say that you can still be independent with having an accountability partner. Your accountability partner check-ins might only be 10 minutes or 30 minutes once a week. Like this is not something that's going to take days and days to do. So the vast majority of the time you will be working independently. You will be doing your work towards your goals by yourself. You're not going to have your accountability partner staring over your shoulder or anything. So I think you can definitely maintain your independence and your autonomy and be able to adjust your goals while being in an accountability group. And there's so many benefits to having an accountability partner there. And I don't think your accountability partner is going to encroach on your individuality or say, no, you can't do that. Like they're there to support you and your goals, but ultimately you choose your goals. All right. The third reason why you might be reluctant to work with an accountability partner is the perceived time commitment. We just talked about this. You might feel like, oh, I don't want to invest time into regular check-ins or appointments. You might feel like that constricts you or it messes with your schedule. Or you can't seem to find anyone who's got the same schedule as you where you can talk at the same time. Here's what I think about the time commitment for accountability partners. I think by having a short 10 to 30 minute chat, and that could be through Zoom or on the phone or just texting or whatever, doing that once a week can save you time in the long run. It can actually save you a lot of time in the long run by just having that accountability partner answer your questions and offer some advice. You will spend less time worrying and ruminating and be in your head. Should I do this? Should I do that? I don't know. And you'll be able to move forward quickly. So like, let's say you have an email you need to get out, you're promoting a program, and you get on your accountability call, have your accountability partner read through your email. And if she says, yes, this looks great, send it out. Well, great. You can send it out right away without having to hem and haw and like, should I change the picture? Should I change this wording? Should I put an emoji in the subject line or whatever? Like, you can just move forward quickly. That's what we're talking about. Like, the time commitment of those actual check-ins can save you so much time throughout the rest of your week. Leave a comment and let me know. Have you ever struggled to find time to meet with or chat with your accountability partner? And how did you resolve that? Maybe you like ended up texting because you could never get on the phone together, or maybe you, I don't know, have some kind of shared meeting where you could piggyback that on top of your accountability partner calls. I will say this, a lot of my clients have done this before with my mastermind group. Like, we have the mastermind calls twice a week, and they might do their accountability calls either right before or right after the mastermind group call, because you're going to be free for that mastermind group call anyway. So you probably have 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after to check in with your accountability partner. So think of if there's a way you can like piggyback onto another appointment that you both share. Okay, and the fourth and final reason why you might be reluctant to work with an accountability partner is the limited availability of suitable accountability partners. This has happened to me many, many, many times before. I'm so embarrassed to admit, but a lot of the problem I had in my first few years of business is I would get accountability partners who were really excited to work with me, and maybe we would be friends or we had like similar personalities, but where we were at in our businesses were totally, totally different. Like, I might be working on launching my digital program to my great big list. I don't want to get into all these numbers and stuff, but let's just say I was much more successful. And somebody coming in as my accountability partner might be literally starting from scratch, like creating their business website, determining their business name, writing their first blog post. And there was such a gap between where we were at in our businesses. And that happened to me over and over again until I had to finally just stop and tell people, I can't be your accountability partner. I can work with you. Like, you could be a client of mine. You're at that level of my clients, but you're not at the same level as me. So I can't be your accountability partner. So that might be challenging for you. You might have the same problem where people are much farther behind than you are. Or it might be flipped. You might just be starting out, but you can't find any other beginners. And that can be a real struggle too. I've also applied for some bigger mastermind groups, and I've been rejected. Actually, I've been rejected from 3 bigger mastermind groups. And that was just like heartbreaking. And part of it was, I don't know, I just don't want to get into all of it, but it was frustrating because I thought I had found a group that I could work with. I really wanted to be a part of that. And I thought we were all at the same levels, and it turned out we were not at the same levels. I had someone said, we don't take anyone who's making over 6 figures. And I'm like, I still need accountability. So where am I going then? And it was just kind of frustrating. They say it's lonely at the top, and I definitely have noticed that the more successful I've gotten, the harder it's been finding peers at my same level. So let me know if that's happened to you as you've grown your business. Has it been more difficult for you to find people at the same level as you? Like, do you not know where to find beginners, or are you feeling good about your business and you're maybe at the point where you're quitting your job, or your business is now your full-time income, but you don't know anyone else who has that same goal? Or let me know if you're like me. Let me know if like it's lonely at the top for you and you haven't been able to find someone who's at that same supercharged level that you're at too. And I'm not saying this to like dump on people who aren't at a more elite level, because hey, there were years where I was like poking around, not doing much, not earning much. I was a beginner too at some point. But there does come a point where you have to work with someone who's at your same level. If you keep working with someone who's at a lower level than you, you're going to be coaching them, but they're not going to be able to support you and coach you at that same level. Does that make sense? So like, if you're at an elite level and you need advice to do like, I don't know, in-person retreats or maybe you have a year-long mastermind group that's thousands of dollars, and your accountability partner is just starting to blog and they haven't sold anything yet. How are they going to give you like the best, most well thought out advice for you at that type of level? Does that make sense? Okay. So I do hear you that it is definitely a thing that there might be limited availability of suitable accountability partners. But I have some tips at the end of this live stream where you can where you can go to find better accountability partners that are more at your same level. And I will say, if you are at that level where you've had your business for a little while, it's not earning enough money to fully support you, but you have your business and it's somewhat established where you've got your website, you've got your social media, you've been doing it for a while, you've probably released a few programs or a few products, you've got an email list. It's probably a small email list, but it's going. Like if you have a very basic setup for your business, but you haven't started earning full-time income from your business yet, then I would love for you to join us in Goodbye 9 to 5. I'll leave the link in the description where you can get all the details about my mastermind group. It's where I take businesses who are not earning full-time income and help you earn a full-time income from your business in 12 weeks or less. So then you can make the choice whether you quit your 9 to 5 job or you keep it for a double income. So it's taking you from, I don't know what you would call that. If like beginner is like level 1, you're probably at a level 2 or 3, and then we get you up to a 4 or a 5, if that makes sense. We bring you up so you can make better choices for yourself, and you can get your business earning consistent income too, so you're not on that struggle bus all the time. Okay, so those are 4 reasons why you might be reluctant to work with an accountability partner. So fear of vulnerability, you want your independence or autonomy, there's a perceived time commitment, or limited availability of suitable partners. Leave a comment and let me know which of those reasons, or if there's a completely different reason, let me know what reason stopped you from working with accountability partners. Okay. All right, let's get on to the good stuff. Let's talk about 9 fantastic reasons why women entrepreneurs should have accountability partners. And I bet you're going to relate to a few of these and you're going to be like, ooh, I want that. These are all great reasons why you should step outside of your little box, find an accountability partner, and lift each other up together. So the first reason I want to talk about, which is very obvious, is increased motivation. Yes. So accountability partners provide this consistent source of motivation. They are always pushing you to do more, to be your best self, to stretch yourself, to get out of your comfort zone, all of that. And they help you stay focused and committed to your goals. Think about that. If you have someone every week saying, yes, you can do that. I believe in you. Like you can launch that program. You can get your first client. You can whatever it is. Like that is so, so powerful. Just having someone believe in you and support you every single week as you are growing your business. So, so valuable. When you're on your own, and I know a lot of us are solopreneurs out there, you might not have that support network. It can be really, really lonely. And you don't always have someone saying, yeah, great job. I mean, maybe your clients say that, or maybe you get a nice email or a nice message on social media. But it's different having someone in your corner all the time saying, I believe in you. You can do this. Just do the next step, and then we'll check in next week. So that added motivation from an accountability partner is huge, is absolutely huge. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is related to that. It's enhanced productivity. So you're not only going to feel motivated to do your work, you're going to get more work done. Absolutely. So you're going to stay accountable for your actions, and you're going to encourage each other to be more productive. So you're not going to sit around being lazy. You're going to make the most of your time and resources. Okay, so increased productivity. Let's say like normally you would post 1 blog post a week, and that was just your normal. With an accountability partner, you might have that extra motivation and support to do 2 blog posts a week, Or if you're like me and you do videos, you might do 2 videos a week and slowly being able to do more. You're not going to get caught up with doing things perfectly. You're just going to worry about getting the next thing done and the next thing done. It's a lot easier to take things one step at a time when you have somebody who understands exactly what you're going through and what your ultimate goals are. So I know when I work with accountability partners, like we don't get caught up in making things perfect. Like we just want to get the good information out there. And I tell this to my clients all the time. Like they don't care if you've got like the perfect hair and makeup. They don't care if your videos are like super edited and like amazing like movie quality videos. They're not going to jump all over you and call you names if there's a typo in your blog post or in your email. They just want the information. They just want the information. So I know too many people who, when they don't have an accountability partner or a coach or someone checking in with them, they get kind of all in their head and they're like, oh, this blog post isn't perfect. This email isn't perfect. I don't look pretty enough for video. I just had a client this week tell me she didn't think she was pretty enough to be on her sales page. And I'm like, you're literally the product. You are the coach. You have to be on your sales page. And it just kind of breaks my heart that we get so caught up in how things look or any kind of insecurities we have that we don't make progress and we don't stay productive because there's no one telling us, just get the information out there, just do it. But that's what an accountability partner will do. They'll remind you that you started whatever business that you have for a reason, and it's to get that good information out there to the people who need it. So that's number 2, enhanced productivity when you work with an accountability partner. No more dragging your feet. You're going to get stuff done. Number 3, reason to work with an accountability partner, goal clarity. A lot of times your goals might be a little vague or a little muddled, or you don't exactly know why you're doing this goal. But with regular interactions with your accountability partners, you're going to be able to get laser focused on your goal and know exactly why you're working on that goal. So you've probably heard of SMART goals. Your accountability partner can help you make sure that your goal is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time limited. They can help you like refine your goal so that you know exactly what those benchmarks are that you're trying to reach along the way. So it's not just like, I want to earn $1 million someday. No, we actually put deadlines and timelines to that. They can help you refine your vision. They can help you set up action plans for your goals. I've seen accountability partners do really, really good where they map out their goals, they come up with the benchmarks, they come up with the deadlines along the way, and they create these really detailed action plans. So then every week that they're doing their accountability check-ins, whether it's calls or emails or whatever, they're going through their action steps like, okay, it's week 3. Did you do such and such? Or, hey, you're supposed to be at this point now. This is your benchmark you're supposed to be at. Are you there yet? And that is really, really helpful. Just having somebody clarify your goals and know exactly what you're working on and the specific steps that you need to take to get there. Okay. Number 4 reason to get an accountability partner is objective feedback. I'm going to say objective feedback here. This is not feedback from your mom or your sister or your high school bully or somebody who has no idea, or Uncle Bob or whatever, someone who has no idea of what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve with your business. You'll have an accountability partner who actually has the same goal as you or is in the same field as you. So they can give you feedback based on your field, like someone who has never had a business and has always had a desk job, or like is in a completely different field than you. They can't give you objective feedback. They just literally don't know what you're going through. So it's kind of like hurtful when people are saying you can't do this, or you should just get a day job, or why are you charging that much? You shouldn't charge that much, when they have no idea what's standard for your field. I have people tell me like, how can you charge that much as a coach? And I'm like, my rates are actually pretty reasonable for what I do. They just don't have any concept of my field because they're not in it. But objective feedback from your accountability partner can help you identify blind spots and help you overcome challenges and help you see things that they're dealing with too, because they're there. They're literally in the muck with you. um, so they can help you make better decisions than if you took advice from someone who isn't in the same field as you or doesn't have the same goals. They're not going to be able to give you the best tools and strategies the way that your accountability partner can. Okay. Fifth reason is follow through. Follow through. This is so huge. A lot of times we have all these great ideas of things you want to do, like blog posts you want to write, videos you want to create, worksheets you want to design, or books or courses or whatever you want to put out into the world. But how many of those ideas actually get off the ground and get moving on them? With an accountability partner, they're checking in with you every single week. So you have this built-in follow through. So if you say you're going to publish a blog post, they're going to ask you, did you publish that blog post? Or if you were going to send 10 warm letters, did you send those warm letters? They're actually checking in with you. Whereas if you have these action steps for yourself, but no one's checking in with you, well, if you didn't send your warm letters, who's going to call you out on that? No one, because nobody cares. But an accountability partner, accountability group, a coach, they do care. They want you to follow through on what you said you were going to do. You'll be able to follow through on all of these commitments. You're not going to blow things off or say, I'll do it another day. You're going to have a higher success rate because you're actually completing those things that directly lead to your goals. And you're going to reach your desired outcomes much faster than if you were dragging your feet and not following through and being like, oh, I can do that next week or I can do that next month. No, your accountability partners are going to make sure you get there faster. You're always following through. I want you to leave a comment and let me know, have you ever noticed that big change from when you don't work with an accountability partner to when you do work with an accountability partner? How many more things you cross off your to-do list? How many more things you actually stick to? How many more promises that you make to yourself do you actually stick with when you have someone checking in with you? Yeah. All right. Number 6, expanded network. I think people forget about this, that even if you have accountability partners who are in your same field, you still have different tools and resources and different people in your network. So you can find meaningful connections with other people, like in the network of your accountability partners. They can offer different opportunities for collaborations and partnerships, and you can get referrals across business communities. So this is so great because, like, a lot of times during my mastermind groups, people will be talking, saying, oh, I'm having a problem with blank. And somebody else has, oh, you should talk to so-and-so. They can help you with that problem. Or maybe, you know, a graphic designer that somebody should use. Or maybe you have like a really good ghostwriter that could help you out. Or maybe you'll have like a different course or business group that somebody should join, but they didn't even know about it, or like a meetup group or something. So a lot of times the best way to move forward is just to talk to other people who have expanded networks. And I know it's always kind of fun for me when I'm able to say, oh, I know someone who could help you. Oh, like, oh, you need a graphic designer. I know a graphic designer. Or, oh, you need help writing your book. I know someone who could help you with that. It's really satisfying knowing that you're not going it alone because you've got your accountability partner, but you're also not going it alone because you've got everyone your accountability partner knows too. It's really, really special seeing all of these like interconnections happening, all these like spider webs happening between accountability members in my mastermind group. Let me know if that's happened to you. Did you like get stuck on a problem, but then when we talked to an accountability partner, they had like a brilliant solution or somebody else that you should talk to, and it really solved all your problems? Would love to hear your story. Okay, we're going through it. Number 7, emotional support. Oh, yes. You're not just going to get business support when you join a business mastermind group or when you have a business accountability partner, but I think maybe even the emotional support is the most important part. Because let's face it, entrepreneurship can be really isolating, really lonely, really challenging. And you might feel like you're floating out there all on your own and nobody knows what you're going through. Maybe you got a nasty email from a client or from not a client, or maybe you got a bad comment on your video, or maybe someone promised that they were going to sign up and then they didn't, or whatever happens, like your website went down or your payment processor is not working, and it's just really, really frustrating because you feel like you're letting yourself down, you're letting your clients down, and you're just not living up to being that type of business owner that you want to be. But when you talk to your accountability partner, they can be a sounding board. They can just sit there and listen. If you're in person, they can give you a great big hug and say it's all going to be okay. They can provide encouragement. And this is what's key. Your accountability partner, got an accountability partner in the same, like they're a business owner just like you. They're going to be able to give empathy, not sympathy. I think this is what kind of sets apart accountability partners versus the other people who love you. Because you have other people who love you in your life. You've got your family, your kids, your parents, your spouse, whoever. You got your friends, you got your coworkers, and of course, they love and care about you. But they're not in it. They're not creating a business from scratch. They're not trying to get clients and sales every day. They're not thinking about social media every day. They're not in it. So all that they can give you is sympathy. And sympathy is when you feel bad and you acknowledge that you acknowledge the situation that someone's going through, but you are not able to actually experience that, or you've never experienced that before. So like I might be sympathetic to someone whose entire house burned down. Like, whoa, that really sucks. I'm sympathetic. But I have never experienced my house burning down, so I can't be empathetic. Empathetic is when you actually have experienced what somebody else has gone through, and it's a deeper level of understanding, and it's a deeper emotion, a deeper connection. So when you can tell someone, like in your accountability group, like, oh, I really messed up this launch, or oh, I got this really nasty email. They're business owners. They're right there with you. They have literally experienced the same thing. So when somebody can say they literally experienced the same thing as you, they can empathize with you, not just sympathize. So I think that type of emotional support is really, really necessary in your life, no matter what your goal is. Like any type of goal, you want to be able to be supported and connect with people who have gone through the same thing that you have. While it's nice to have like love and support from people who have not gone through what you've gone through, it just means more, and it can help you move forward faster if you have those people who can actually empathize. So that's what's great about having an accountability partner, someone who actually knows what you're going through. Leave a comment and let me know. The people in your life who you have told your goals to, are they sympathetic to you or are they empathetic to you? Do they feel bad for you and acknowledge that, or have they actually gone through that and they can experience a deeper connection with you? I think that is a really clear distinction between like the people who love you and then the accountability partners that you could have in your life. All right. The 8th reason why you should have an accountability partner is celebrating your wins. Yes. Has that ever happened to you where you had a great big win in your business, like you signed a new client, or you had a really great launch, or someone higher up in your field left a really nice message on your video, or something like really good happened to you in your business? Did you have somebody to celebrate with? I don't know. If you don't have someone to celebrate with, that's kind of sad. It's kind of like, I just had this big win, but it doesn't hold as much meaning because there's nobody to celebrate with me. Accountability partners are going to be able to celebrate your successes, celebrate all of those little milestones along the way. They're going to create this positive, uplifting environment that's going to reinforce your good habits and reinforce you doing your good work to reach your goals. I've seen some people like where they get a little bit of win. And I guess I can kind of see this in like health or fitness goals, where you might like lose a little bit of weight, but then you have nobody else who's in your corner, nobody else who's losing weight, nobody else who supports you in that. and nobody to celebrate with. So then you kind of fall back into your old bad habits. Or maybe like for your business, you were publishing your blog posts every week and you did your launch and you got a bunch of new clients or whatever. But if nobody celebrates you or acknowledges that, then it's easy to be like, well, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So then you stop doing your good work. So having accountability partners celebrate you will make sure that you keep making progress. That just having like a little celebration, just acknowledging that, yay, you did it. We're so proud of you. Congratulations, anything like that. Or even like having some kind of a party or something, or other way of acknowledging that you did the work is so, so important. And I think everyone deserves to have somebody to celebrate their wins with. All right, and the ninth and final reason why you should have an accountability partner is continuous growth and learning. Yeah. So when you work with accountability partners, you're going to get their knowledge, their insights, their resources, and you're going to foster this culture of continuous learning and continuous progress and personal development. I've definitely noticed that when people like in my mastermind group start working with accountability partners, it kind of trickles out into every other area of their life. They want to like improve their business, and then they're working with their accountability partner, but it'll make them want to also improve their health or improve their relationships or improve their spirituality too. So having an accountability partner kind of like fosters this environment of learning, of growth, of seeking out new information, and it's really getting rid of that stagnation in every area of your life. Leave a comment and let me know, have you noticed when you work with an accountability partner or a mastermind group of some kind, that once you start making progress on one of your goals, then it's a lot easier to start making progress on those other areas of your life. Like maybe you wanted to have a successful business, but you also were able to repair some relationships in your life. Or you really wanted to have X number of clients, but you were also able to lose some weight and feel better about yourself, something like that. So it's all interconnected, and there's just so much growth going on when you're able to have that accountability partner push you through your limits and let you see what's possible in all those other beautiful areas of your life. All right. Quick recap. Those are the 9 reasons why you should have an accountability partner. It's increased motivation, enhanced productivity, goal clarity, objective feedback, follow through, expanded network, emotional support, celebrating wins, and continuous learning and growth. Leave a comment and let me know, did any of those reasons speak to you? Are any of those reasons like saying like, yes, I need more motivation. I'm going to get an accountability partner. Or yes, I want to expand my network. I'm going to get an accountability partner. Because I think all of those are really, really good reasons. And maybe you have some even better reasons. So leave a comment and let me know, what is your reason for seeking out an accountability partner? All right, let's talk about what you actually do when you're on an accountability check-in. So I've got 3 questions that you should ask your accountability partner every time that you do a check-in call, whether it's call, Zoom, email, texting, whatever. Ask these 3 questions so that you stay on task and you make sure that you're hitting all of the points needed so that you can both be successful. I know some people get on accountability calls and they just spend a half hour talking about their kids or their dog or what they ate that day, and that's just kind of wasted time. Remember, we want your accountability partner to keep you focused on your goal. Like that's literally why you're talking, is for your goal. If you want to talk about other stuff, like make another call or go get coffee another time. But during your accountability check-ins, keep it super focused. So here are 3 questions you need to ask during your accountability check-ins. All right, number 1, did you do what you said you were going to do? Yes. This is all about holding them accountable. This is literally why you have an accountability partner. They're going to ask you, did you do what you said you were going to do? You're not going it alone. So if you say, I'm going to publish my sales page, the next week when you get on your call, they're going to ask you, did you publish your sales page? They're holding you accountable. They're making sure that you keep the promises that you make to yourself. I think that is So profound. This is literally why we want you to have accountability partners, knowing that someone's going to say, hey, did you do that thing? They're literally checking in with you. Whereas if you're on your own, there's no one checking in with you. So it's less likely that you will actually do the work. Okay. Second question. What are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? You want them to stretch themselves and keep thinking about what's the next step and the next step and the next step. You don't want to get stagnant when you're working with an accountability partner. So focusing on, okay, you did that thing, celebrate the little win, you made your sales page live or whatever it was. Then the next step, what are you going to do next? It stops them thinking about the huge, enormous goal that they might have, which can feel overwhelming, and gets them to narrow in on just what is the next thing to do. You don't have to do it all right now, but what is the very, very next thing to do? It keeps them focused so that you know what to ask them about next week, too. So they can't tell you they're going to do 100 things. They have to pick the one or two things that they most need to get done in the next week before the next call. So, what are you going to do next? And the third and final question to ask during your accountability check-ins are, how can I support you? How can I support you? So this doesn't mean that you are like literally doing their work for them, like you're writing their blog post or something. But there are ways that you can support your accountability partner, and asking them what the best support would be is probably a better idea than just like giving them the support that you think they need. So they could ask you to check their opt-in boxes. So go to their website, enter your name and email, make sure that everything's linked up, make sure that the emails are going through, make sure the tagging is going through. That's something that you can do as an accountability partner. You could read or edit what they wrote. I have lots of my clients send me their sales pages to read, or their marketing emails to read before they send them. You could call them at a specific time. Like if they've got a big presentation at 2:00, maybe you give them a call at 4:00 and ask them how it went. You could just be a sounding board. That's a way to support them. Like your accountability partner might say to you, I just need to get this all out of my system. Can you just sit there and listen? And that's okay too. That is definitely being supportive. You could give them advice too. So let's say you've done something, like let's say you had a big launch for a big program, and they're about to get ready for their launch for their program. You could give them advice about things to look out for, maybe things that went wrong with yours, or things that you would do differently. Maybe any kind of technical glitches that happened, or questions that you got later that you didn't think about. I think talking to an accountability partner or a mentor or coach or somebody who's been there already and done what you're about to do is so, so helpful. You might be able to support them by just, letting them know what could be coming down the line. Like, here's what's going to happen when you get people into your group, or here's what's going to happen when you set up your payment processor, or here's what happens when whatever, and just so they can be aware of it. Yeah, I have definitely told my clients like what to expect when you start posting regularly on social media, or what can you expect when you start sending more emails more often. I have no problem sending like a million emails all the time. There have been times where I've sent emails daily, but I still send a bunch of emails. And depending on what list you're on, like if you're in my mastermind group, if you're a private client, if you're in any of my programs, or if you're just on my regular list, you might get like a lot of emails from me during the week. And that's okay. Like I can tell people like, okay, here's what's going to happen when you start sending more emails. Some people are going to unsubscribe. Absolutely. But you're going to get more dedicated super fans, which I think people forget about. Like if you only email your list once a week or once a month, or maybe only once a quarter, they're going to forget about you. And you might not realize that until you talk to someone who actually like does what you're considering doing, like sending more emails. And I've noticed the more emails that I send, the more focused my list gets. So yes, people unsubscribe, but I get more people signing up every day than I get unsubscribed. So it doesn't bother me at all. But when you do send more emails, people start to know your personality. They start to expect to hear from you. And you get this wonderful list of super fans. And I would rather have like a smaller list of dedicated super fans who are going to buy my products and sign up for my programs than have like an enormous list where nobody really cares about you, or they don't remember you by the time they get the next email from you. All right, so let's recap those 3 questions that you should ask during every accountability check-in. So, did you do what you said you were going to do? What are you going to do next? And how can I support you? Leave a comment and let me know, when you do your accountability check-ins, do you add any other questions? Maybe even a question that's specific to your field, or something that's specific to whatever type of client you're going after. Let me know in the comments. Okay. We're almost done. Let's wrap this up with 7 places where you can find accountability partners. Because I know you're thinking that. I know you're thinking like, Sage, this is all well and good. Like, I know how to do my accountability check-in. I know all these great reasons why I should have an accountability partner. I know it's going to help me in so many other areas of my life. But where do I find this unicorn accountability partner? Where do I find this magical accountability? So here are some places that you can look for accountability partners. And maybe these are a little bit better places than just kind of talking to your friends or running into people while you're out and about during the day. I want you to be a little bit more strategic about where you're looking for your accountability partners. Okay, so number 1 is local entrepreneurial organizations or small business development centers. So in your local town, you might have a small business center or some kind of community center or like a chamber of commerce or something like that. There might be local entrepreneur centers or organizations. Definitely go to meetup.com. That's meetup.com, and see if there are any small business groups in your area. That's literally probably the first place you should check. Is if you want to have an accountability partner who's another small business owner, is look, where are the small business groups in your neighborhood? Or if you don't have a lot of places locally, you could also search online and see, like, is there like a national group for your field? So that's first, is check to find those small business centers, those entrepreneurial groups locally. Definitely go to meetup.com and see if you have any. I have definitely seen business accountability support groups on meetup.com. And then you could actually like meet up in person. Like, you could have your support group at a coffee shop or at somebody's house, which is really nice. I definitely appreciate seeing my accountability partners in person and not always like through a Zoom screen. So that's where you should check first. Number 2 is online business communities, online business forums, social media groups, Facebook groups. Check online. So if you go to Facebook, you could just search like whatever kind of business you have, like Etsy sellers group or life coaching group or graphic designer group, and just see what kind of groups are out there. And that's kind of nice because it's a whole collection of people online. So you don't always have to be in the same neighborhood. You can connect with people who might be on the totally other side of the world, which is kind of exciting. One thing about like Facebook groups, they can get really big. And a lot of times there's just a handful of people that are kind of dominating the conversation. So if you do join a small business group or a group in your field online, make sure that there's some kind of moderator who's making sure that like there's not the same people like overtaking the conversation. And then even within the group, if you really connect with someone, you can send them a direct message and say, hey, would you want to be accountability partners, and meet like outside of the group. I've also seen groups, Facebook groups, where they do their accountability check-ins within the group. If it's a small group, I can see that working really well. If it's a really, really large group and you have like hundreds of people giving you their updates, it kind of gets muddled, and your update might get lost in the shuffle, and you might not get your questions answered or get that kind of one-on-one support that you really need. So if you do connect with someone in online group, connect with them separately, like in your direct messages, and see if you can set up like a Zoom call privately away from the group, just so you get that one-on-one connection. All right. Number 3 is my favorite. It's business coaching mastermind groups. And wouldn't you know it, I run a business coaching mastermind group. It's my Goodbye 9 to 5 program. And I will leave the link in the description if you want all the details about the program and to join us. So basically, a business coaching mastermind group is where you have a bunch of small business owners come together. Usually there's one coach like me running the group, and there's usually group calls. Plus, there's people get together outside of the group calls as accountability partners. There might even be like a community section. Like I use Kajabi and it has its own private community, or they might use like a private Facebook group too. So there's lots of ways to connect. But if you do a business mastermind group, I think okay, I have been in business mastermind groups that have hundreds of people and that like really, really big ones. And we always kind of break off into like smaller groups within the group, which is helpful. But a lot of business mastermind groups are smaller in size, like maybe 10 to 20 people. And that's like a really good size. So you can make sure that you can find an accountability partner out of the people there, but it's not overwhelming. You're not getting lost in the shuffle. So if you are looking for a business mastermind group where you can have multiple accountability partners plus the guidance of a coach, then please click the link in the description and join my Goodbye 9 to 5 program. All right, number 4 is industry specific conferences and events. I love going to conferences and events. As you can tell, I'm an extrovert and I get energy by being around people. So I love going to events and conferences for business coaches, for life coaches. I really kind of like soak up the energy. So you could just do a quick Google search to see if there are any conferences, retreats, or events for your field. Like, is there a graphic designer conference? Is there a jewelry maker conference? Or is there, I don't know, an Etsy seller conference or a life coaching conference or something like that? So you go to a really big event and there's probably lots of little breakout rooms, lots of different sub-sessions, and see if you can connect with anyone there who maybe has your same type of business. And you'll definitely be able to find people at lots of varying levels. I've definitely noticed at conferences, you've got the very beginners and you've got like the elite level people who know what they're doing too, and everything in between. So if you want to learn more for your field, but also connect with people and make sure you're connecting with people on your same level, try to go to some big events or big conferences where there's going to be a lot of people to connect with. All right, where else can you find accountability partners? Number 5 is alumni networks. So this could either be from your college or university, or if you went to like a coaching school or some other kind of certification school or program, like outside of typical university, contact the school and see if there's any kind of alumni network. Maybe they keep a list of all of their graduates and what they're doing now, or maybe they have their own conferences, or maybe they have their own communities, online communities that you can connect with someone there. They might even have a list of people who are looking for accountability partners or have their own mastermind accountability group. So definitely, if you want someone specific to your field, check in with your alumni network, any kind of certification school that you went to, see if they have any resources for you. All right. Number 6 is co-working spaces. I love co-working spaces. So that's where you can get out of your house and get your work done in a nice, pleasant environment. And there are so many co-working spaces. I actually have a video coming up about co-working spaces where you can connect with other people from different backgrounds. You'll know they're local because you have to drive to that place. And they're probably in the same boat as you, where they want to look more professional or they need to get away from their house with all the distractions. And they're focused on growing their business. And one thing about co-working spaces, it can be really lonely as an entrepreneur, especially a solopreneur where you're just kind of working at home all the time. But co-working spaces lets you kind of get that environment of being around other people as if you were working in an office, but you're all working on your own individual businesses. Co-working spaces are also a great way where you can network with other people and kind of cross promote your businesses. So maybe like I don't know, you're a hairdresser and you want to cross promote with somebody who, I don't know, sells like bath products or something like that. So you can cross promote and send your customers to each other, or maybe do some kind of joint venture together. So co-working spaces are a great place to find accountability partners. And finally, number 7, professional associations. So is there a professional association for your field? Same thing that you would do for an alumni network is reach out to them and see if they have any community spaces. Do they have any conferences or events coming up? Do they have a list of people who are looking for accountability partners? Do they have any resources connecting people? So any kind of professional organization for your field. I would literally just Google search your field, like my field, professional organization. Or if it's something that you had to be like certified or go to school for, again, that's a great place to start. Okay, so just recapping those places to look for accountability partners, small business centers, online business communities, business coaching mastermind groups like my Goodbye 9 to 5 program, industry-specific conferences and events, alumni networks, co-working spaces, and professional associations. If you have an accountability partner or have ever had an accountability partner, leave a comment and let me know, where did you find your partner? Were you in the same group together? Did you run into each other in the grocery store? I don't know. Let us know where you found your accountability partner. All right, Life Editor, that is the end of this call. We went over a lot of information, and I really hope you come back to this call and maybe pause it and take notes so you can get all the best information about how to find an accountability partner, what you should do during your check-ins, and all the great reasons why you should have an accountability partner. Just having that buddy in your corner to support you, to offer advice, to be that sounding board is hugely, hugely beneficial. And I would love to know if you have any success stories. If you've had an accountability partner or been in an accountability group, what type of success did you get? What kind of results were you able to achieve that you might not have been able to achieve on your own? Leave a comment and let me know. And finally, if you are looking for a mastermind group or a way to find and connect with other people who have their own businesses, then I encourage you to join Goodbye 9 to 5. That's my business mastermind group, and I'll leave the link below where you can get all of the details. All right, if you are watching this replay, again, this was pre-recorded, but if you are watching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment and I will come back and respond to your comments. And yeah, let me know what your questions are or if you have any good advice that you want to share with everyone. All right, Life Editors, thank you so much for being here today. I will talk to you again real soon. Bye.